Greetings of peace and paradise. Doing this video on the number 13 and its occult significance. The number 13 is a number that is feared by many, mostly due to superstition and some misinformation that has been passed down from generation to generation, predicated upon certain stories and events that took place from a certain secret society called the Knights of Templar. And this secret society believed that the number 13 was malefic, evil, and wicked, because the Knights of the Templar were defeated on Friday the 13th. This is one reason why the number 13 is feared by many. As far as the religious school of thoughts go, the number 13 is feared because they says that Jesus on the Last Supper sat down, counting himself, it was 13 individuals who sat at the table with him. But the number 13, according to the occult, according to the spiritual sciences, according to metaphysics, is a very lucky number. Not only is it a lucky number, but it is a divine number. It is the number of creation. Now, many people feel that the number 13 is the number of death. The number 13 is far from the number of death, because when you deal with the occult, there is no death. See, in the occult, there is no death. There's only resurrection, ascension, reincarnation, and transformation. And these four principles, when you add up 3 and 1, or 1 and 3, you get 4. So the number 13 reduces to the number 4. And these are the 4 principles of the number 13. Resurrection, ascension, reincarnation, which many of you call death, reincarnation, and transformation. And you can choose any of these routes to leave this plane at any time. You can leave through any of those 4 routes. Now, the number 13 has been given a bad rap because it's actually a feminine number. And the feminine principle is how we got here. See, we didn't get here through the masculine principle. We got here through the feminine principle. But when the patriarchal deities took over during the what's called the moon spell, or during the moon cycle, you see, most people believe that the moon cycle deals with the female. But in truth, you see, the moon cycle, as far as the occult is concerned, is dealing with the male, because the original moon god was a male. Believe it or not, the moon god of Tahuti. Tahuti was a lunar deity who took the place of Ra during the time of the dark. This was a lunar deity, deity of wisdom. So the first moon deity was a male, and it later on became a female. You see, so the male and the female deal with the number 13. But when the men took over, they chose to hide the number 13 because they could not deal with the feminine aspect of it. And this carried over into many schools. It started off with your astrological school, because many of you know, and I teach, that there are 13 signs of the zodiac, not 12. There are 13 signs of the zodiac. Now, the ancient Egyptians taught all 13 signs of the zodiac, and under the school of Imhotep, Imhotep taught the Greeks about the 13 signs of the zodiac, but they chose not to publish this information. And I covered this in my book. but I'll cover it in this video. They chose not to publish this information because the Greeks at that time were a group of patriarchal deities who knew about the number 13 but chose not to deal with it because they didn't deal with the feminine principle. They dealt with the masculine principle, because this is when men began to take over and the patriarchal system of rulership was introduced to the planet. So when many people go into the school of astrology, they say that Jesus had 12 disciples just like the 12 signs of the zodiac, but you're not doing your mathematics and you're not counting right, because Jesus counts as a disciple himself. And this is why at the Last Supper there were 13 individuals at the seat, because the number 13 is the number of creation, resurrection, ascension, transformation, and reincarnation. You see, it's the number of creation and deals with the feminine principle, because all of us came through the womb of the universe. And when I say the womb of the universe, I'm dealing with the 13 signs of the zodiac, which is the region of the universe that we incarnated through. So the number 13 is very important. There are 13 signs of the zodiac, and this information has recently been leaked out, as I've talked about in other videos. It's been leaked out publicly because now we're going back into the sun cycle again. Yes, we're going back into the sun cycle again. We're leaving the moon cycle, or the cycle of sleep, where people are asleep, and people are beginning to wake up again because the sun is rising again. And the sun deals with actually the feminine principle, believe it or not. This is why it's 13 signs of the zodiac, and the sun is the highest being to us on this planet, because the sun created everything. Without the light of the sun, we would not exist. You see, so the sun is dealing with the feminine principle. It is not a male principle as you've been taught by many people. It's a feminine principle. So the number 13 is very significant. There are 13 months in a year, or 13 moon cycles within a year, believe it or not. And in your calendar again, they only count 12 months. They only count 12 months. And this is why they have to adjust their calendars and deal with leap years and the likes, because they don't want to deal with the cycle of 13. See, there's 13 lunar cycles, or lunar months, within a year. You see, this is information that is not taught. The female has 13 menstrual cycles, dealing with the blood. The female has 13, not 12, 13. A healthy female, that is, has 13 menstrual cycles per year, approximately every 29 days, which correlates with the moon cycle. So this is information that is not taught. I can go on. There are 13 sperm that was responsible for you getting here. Not one sperm, no. See, they didn't teach you right. And you could do your research. I'm not making this up. There are 12 sperm that paved the way, but you were the 13th. You see, you were the number 13, or the 13th sperm that made it. The 12 sperms paved the way and opened up the entrance so that the 13 sperm can make it in. See, they don't teach it like this. It takes 13 sperms to create a human being, which correlates to the 13 constellations of the zodiac and the 13 lunar cycles. You see, so everything correlates in the universe. And the number 13, again, is the number of creation. Now, the number 13 is how you meet your higher self. Your higher self exists in your 13th chakra. Not 12, not 7, not 9. There are 13 chakras. There are 7 chakras connected to the physical aspect of you. They keep you alive. But there are 5 chakras located above your head, which equals 12. And these 5 chakras correlate with other entities that are responsible for you staying alive. Because contrary to popular belief, you are staying alive because of beings and entities that are on higher dimensions and higher planes that you may call angels. But these beings and entities are responsible for you staying alive. And the reason why many of you have not contacted these angels is because you have not aligned and opened up your 5 chakras located above your head. You see, so that will equal 12 chakras. And then you have a chakra that's located in front of your forehead. Not your third eye chakra, which is located actually here and in the center of your head and down. What I'm talking about is a chakra in front of you. About 6 inches in front of you, there's another chakra. And when you activate the 5 chakras above your head and the 6th chakra located in front of you, you create a halo. You create a halo for yourself. And when you activate this halo, this lets the angels know, or your angels, because all of you were given angels to watch out for you. You were appointed guardian angels, and many of you were taught this in Christianity and in different schools, but you never understood it. You were given guardian angels that governed you. And they won't come in and intervene in your affairs until you unlock your 13 chakras and your halo is activated. When you see a picture of Yeshua, which you call Jesus, he has a halo. He has a halo around him usually, or light. And this light is how these angels find you and correspond with you and communicate with you and assist you. You see, you get assistance from your angels. But we weren't taught this information because we have lost the knowledge based on the moon cycle, which is, like I said, was a spell that was cast and put on humanity by the patriarchal system of deities. So the number 13 is very important. And once you unlock the 13 chakras, you meet your higher self. And this is where creation takes place. Now the number 13 will become very important, those of you that survive 2012 and make it to 2013. And when I do the video on the shift, which is coming real soon, I'm going to go into this information. But in order for you to make it to the through this shift and make it through this new paradigm that we're entering into, you have to learn and master the number 13. You have to meet your higher self. And your higher self exists on the number 13. And I know you might not understand this, but just contemplate it. Just contemplate it. Within my guided meditations, I teach you how to align the chakras, the 13 chakras, so that you can begin to learn what it is that you were put here to do, and so that you can begin to get assistance from your angels, because they will recognize you through the light or the halo that is located around your head and above your head, which acts as a crown. And this is why you see the ancient Egyptian deities, they all wear certain hats and certain fezzes and certain head pieces, because the head piece represented the 5 chakras located above your head, and then the 13th chakra is located in front of you. You see, it's located in front of you. And when you unlock this, you activate the halo, the light, so that the extraterrestrial beings, disagreeable and agreeable, will know who you are. Because once you unlock the halo, there is nothing. You become immortal. There is nothing that no outside being can do to you. You cannot be harmed, and you cannot be assaulted upon. And you have nothing to fear, because you master fear once you unlock the 13 chakras. So the number 13 is important. Very important when it comes to the occult symbolism. Here in the Western world, they removed the 13th floor from most elevators because they feared the number 13, because they haven't been taught. They've just been misinformed. They've just been misinformed. 13 is the number of magic. It's the number of magic and how any spell can be cast or broken through the number 13. A spell can be cast and broken. It takes 13 witches and wizards to create a coven. You see? And in a coven, you can either cast a spell or you can break a spell. So there's duality in everything. Don't get scared when you hear the number 13 or when you hear the witches and wizards and these different things. Because it's going to take a wizard to get out of this situation and a witch to get out of this situation. Just like it took a witch and a wizard to put you in this situation. And you were put in this situation through the number 13. And it's from the number 13 that you will exit out of the situation of the spell that has been cast upon you. And you will gain back divinity. And you will gain back knowledge of your higher self. And you will gain back the love that you need to make it through this new shift in this new age that we are entering into. I thank you for watching this video. For more enlightening information, please visit 13signsastrology.com. Till we meet again, peace and love at all costs.